Okay, so I had a thought in my mind and I wanted to share this because I was literally experiencing this as I was going through it, and I think you can take a lot of value. So I'm on a bit of a break at the moment. If you can see the background here, pretty beautiful. There's a lot of sun right now, but yeah. And imagine, believe it or not, this is my first break in 7 years. Did not go on a holiday for 7 years, but that's besides the point, and that could be for a separate video. Now, I want to give you this explanation, and I will give you my thought process into this and how it's going to benefit you and how you're able to use that for your own life. Okay, so where I am right now, so I'm in South of France. There's two parts to South of France. Where one is where there's a lot of people, a lot, like you can say the town center, right, where there's so much going on, a lot of people around, just a lot of energy going left and right. So that's a place where it's, how do you say, live, like there's a lot of vibes, or it's a lively place. Cool. And then you have the other place where it's where I am right now, where it's a lot more secluded, less people, and you're more with nature. Okay, now what was interesting between these two places, and I'll say this, and maybe you can see for yourself as well if this is something that you go through, is that when I was going through the town center where it was, you know, there was so much going on, so many people, believe it or not, I felt like it felt overwhelming, and I'll explain to you why. It felt like there was so much going on, so much energy, like left and right coming at me, right? And it felt that, this is gonna sound crazy, but I felt like people were just looking at me, judging me by the way I dress and everything, which probably they're not, right? Probably they're not, but it just felt like I could feel the energy, right? And as I was feeling the energy, I realized I wasn't able to think properly because there's just so much going on, like you in the atmosphere that you're in. There was just so much going on that you're not even able to think properly. So you're kind of getting sucked into this, if that makes sense. Now, don't get me wrong. There's people that like that stuff. There's people that like to be around so many other people and they like the vibe. So listen, if you like that, great, fantastic. But I realized that for me, because I do think a lot, I do kind of take a step back and I do think and analyze a lot, very in detail. Places like that is very difficult, right? Because there's just so much going on. And where I am right now, in the place that I'm right now, because it's like, you probably can see the water, you'll hear the water, right? It's a lot more secluded. It feels more at peace, which means I'm able to think, I'm able to focus more, I'm able to get my thoughts in order and just be more at peace with myself and be more calm. So now you're thinking, okay, Vidush, but how the heck does that help us? How does that help me with, you know, me not being able to focus in my studies? Well, think of it this way. This is an analogy, right? Think of the place where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of energy going left and right. This is where when you're trying to study and you have a lot of distractions. So distractions in the sense that, you know, you have your phone, you have social media, the environment that you're in, there's a lot of noise, there's just so much going on, you can't even focus. And it doesn't even have to be study, it could be just work as well, right? A task that you're trying to do, you're not able to focus because you have so much distractions going around you. So think of that like the town where there's so much people there. And think of the place I'm right now where it's a lot more secluded, it's more at peace, is when you don't have any distractions. So the work that you're trying to do, the task that you're trying to do, you're able to focus, you're able to do it to your 100% capacity because you have no distractions. You're able to think more clearly and able to be more, you have more energy to focus. Does that make sense? So it's interesting because I kind of thought of it like that as an analogy, and it does make sense. You have to ask yourself, when you can't focus, look at your environment, look at the distractions, because 99% of the time, your answers is based on those things. If you have distractions and your environment is not great, you're not going to be able to get the task at hand. You're not going to be able to get the task done, the work done, because there's just too much going on. But if you're able to remove that, then you'll be able to see that your focus is a lot more sharper, it's a lot more clearer, which means the work that you're doing, the task that you're doing gets done very, very well and in a short period of time. So it's just something that I wanted to share because it just clicked on me, but I don't know if it will make sense to you or not, but it made sense to me. So hopefully, you know, I'll see in the comments if people can relate to that. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. But just remember this, if you have a goal and you want to do something and achieve something, ask yourself this: how much do you want it? And if you want it so badly, why have you got these distractions? Do not make any excuses. Cut the distractions off and then do the work that you need to do. And listen, you're not going to be able to focus 100% of the time. That is impossible. Even with me, I can't do that. There's going to be times where you have to go in the town center where there's a lot of people. There's going to be times that you have to do that. You're going to have distractions, right? Left and right, that you have to do because, you know, life happens. So many things happen. So which means that you have to prioritize what's important at that time. But there's also going to be times where you can cut those distractions off and just focus 100%. So you need to know how to balance. And I don't want to use the word balance in a way that, everything is about balance. It's more about What is important to you right now? What is your priority? Not priorities. What is your number one priority that you need to get done? Get that done first and then focus on everything else. I hope that helps. And I'll just finish this off with a bit of a view for you guys. All right, peace.